Welcome back, True Seeker. Want to say congrats to the winners. Shout out to Big Al. Big Al, I know, had a big payday today, bringing home $4,000 on the UConn championship. Again, I've been telling you guys since the opening round, it wasn't an accident that they stopped the game in the UConn Iona game. It was not an accident that they stopped that game and took down the Nets just before Connecticut scored their 84th points of the game. Again, this is the 84th college basketball tournament, number 84. And what a ritual in the Iona game to stop it, take down the Nets, like simulating winning the championship, put on a new net, and then score the 84th points. Again, you guys, Connecticut, Interstate 84 runs through it. The state's birthday is January 9th. Today is 84 days after Connecticut's birthday. And the coach with this W becomes 8-4 in the tournament. That was the first thing we identified. We looked for all the 84 possibilities. It's funny, the Jay Bilas, the first ESPN special they did, you guys, Jay Bilas had Arizona facing UConn. Now I really get the joke. Of course, Arizona equals 84 in Gematria. They lost to the Princeton Tigers, which also equals 84. But the thing about Arizona and UConn, Arizona, the only 2 seed to ever win, or not 2 seed. Arizona's the only 4 seed to ever win the championship before this year. UConn's becoming the second team ever to win as a 4 seed. You got to love how they have the 4 NASA astronauts for the next moon mission in attendance. They'll be blasting off in the 11th month, 2024. So we're told. Again, Cancer is the 4th astrological sign. The moon's ruled by Cancer. The moon landing in the time of Cancer back in 69. The astrological symbol for Cancer looks like 69. But anyway, getting back to this basketball game. Big old 84 ritual. And the commercial that they've been showing all throughout the tournament, they just showed it in the last break. They've showed it several times tonight. Again, the Coke commercial where they showed the To Beat jersey right at the beginning. The first basketball reference is to Hasheem To Beat, not to be confused with Hakeem, who played at Houston, like how in 1984, Houston lost to Jesuit Georgetown, shared the championships in Houston. But Hasheem To Beat, who played at Connecticut, who went to high school in Houston, who played in the NBA for the Houston Rockets. Again, Hasheem To Beat, number 34, the championship date today, the 3rd day of the 4th month, 3-4. All of the seeds that UConn beat to get to the championship game, if you add up all those seeds, they added up to 34 to be in this game. And now with beating number 5, San Diego State, now all the seeds add up to 39. And for people who follow my work for a long time, you know I call NRG Stadium the 39 Stadium. Construction began on this stadium on March 9th, 3-9. NRG ends the 14th letter using the alphabetic order. R's the 18th, G's the 7th. NRG 39. We talk about 39 all the time in this stadium in the NFL season, but now all the seeds UConn's beaten add up to 39. Perfect ritual. Perfect ritual. And again, the thing about To Beat and the Coke, again, he wore the jersey number 34. All the seeds that they beat to get here added up to 34. The date of this game, 3/4, and then Coke in Gematria, C the 3rd letter, O the 15th, K the 11th, E the 5th, added up, Coke equals 34. Coke 34. They went through Miami last. I mean, when you think of Coke, like cocaine, you think of the city Miami. You think of Tony Montana. You know? Everybody associates the city of Miami with cocaine. And again, Coca-Cola, they used to actually use the real Coca plant in their drink, thus where their name comes from. They say they don't do it anymore, but they did it back in the day to create addiction to get the repeat business. There's a reason drug companies rule the world. You know, caffeine's technically a drug. Look at Starbucks. Always got a mile-long line in every drive-through, all hours of the day. But yeah, you guys, that's how big the jokes are. I mean, year after year, remember last year's commercial about the all the blue teams, Blue Bloods, had another all blue championship last year. North Carolina, Kansas. Kansas won the championship 65 days after the state's birthday. Kansas 65. Kansas, the only team to score 83 points in the opening round in the 83rd tournament, which they went on to win. Big Al took the advice last year. He said, yeah, I'm putting my future on Kansas. This year, Big Al heard what I pointed out in the first round. They took down the Nets for UConn, who had a great 84 ritual. And the other big thing about UConn is that we pointed out is if UConn won the championship, you guys, they'd have 31 wins on the season. What do I call Houston? I call Houston the 31 city. The 31 city. Been calling it that for a decade. You know, just a few years ago, you had the best 31 ritual ever in Houston. George Springer left the Astros. J.J. Watt left the Texans. And Harden left the Rockets. And they all left at age 31. Houston's first game of this tournament, they just dribbled out the clock at halftime, didn't even try to score to keep the score on 31. They were stuck on 31 points forever. If it wasn't the first game, it was the second game. I think it was their first game, though. But yeah, you guys, these games are scripted. The advertisements every year giving you the clues. And, congrats, Bill, who watched the video that I put out for the Final Four. I explained. If it was UConn versus San Diego State, they'd only played one time in history. In 2011, that was the same year Connecticut won the championship. It was the only year that the Final Four seeds added up to a higher number than this year. And it was also the year that Hakeem Tabit played for the Houston Rockets. So Connecticut, Houston. Yeah, but I just looked up right before this how many four seeds have ever won the championship. And again, it was only Arizona. So now I get the Jay Bilas bracket pick. Arizona versus UConn. That's why that was ESPN's first special about the tournament. And, I liked Arizona a lot. And I thought UConn had a great narrative too. UConn's the better payout. But after that first round, when they took down the Nets, man, I emphasized that a million times. So congrats to everyone in the community who took that advice. And for all of you who didn't, I don't know why you didn't. So I always appreciate Big Al, man. He takes the knowledge I put out and makes good use of it, pads the pockets. So congrats to Big Al. He's $4,000 richer tonight. And again, that's the beauty of the knowledge, too. You don't have to bet a lot to make a lot. So 75-59. I'm thinking about this score. What do we got right now? I'm surprised. Normally the score, I can identify something very symbolic about the score. At halftime, I got the score. UConn was up with 36 points at halftime. How old's Hakeem Tabit right now? 36. And another funny thing about the Hakeem Tabit thing in Gematria, this is UConn's 120th season. 120. Hashim Tabit. His name in Gematria, Hashim Tabit, equals 120. Hashim Tabit 120. And it's not an accident that his name's so similar to Hakeem. Again, Hakeem played in Houston, was in the 1984 college basketball championship against Jesuit Georgetown. Georgetown won that one. That was the biggest shocker to me about this tournament, that they didn't have any of the Jesuit schools make the Final Four. They went 9-4 in the tournament. They got 9 wins in the 23 tournament. Again, 23, the 9th prime. You even had a 9 seed in the Final Four. Remember, the Final Four added up to 23 if you added up all the seeds. 2 5s, a 9, and a 4. And again, you add up the seeds here. 5 + 4, 9. 23, the 9th prime. Yeah, indeed. This knowledge helps you pad the pockets. A lot of people had an excellent day yesterday in my community. Shout out to Leo. He turned a $10 bill into $500 off a parlay, taking advantage of the rigged NBA and rigged MLB. You guys, every day, if you're just patient and selective, every day there are great riddles in rigged sports. A couple days ago on April Fool's Day, the 91st day of the year, the Twins-Royals game, it was Lock City. One pitcher picked up their 91st career win on the 91st day of the year, and the other one picked up his 91st loss. And then what made it even funnier is one guy picked up his 38th loss to Minnesota with the 38. Minnesota's the 38th state, like RIP to George Floyd on the corner of 38th Street. That reminds me of another thing. And then the other guy picked up his 41st, can't remember if it was home or away win on the road in the same game. So you had the 91 and the 41 on 4-1. Notice both games in the NBA on 4-1. But both games where the team could end up on 41 wins, both games on 4-1. Only 2 games in the NBA on April Fool's Day. Both end up on 41 wins on 4-1. They'd done something similar in hockey the week before on 41 date numerology. There was 2 games. Both teams ended up on 41 wins. Again, all these leagues, you guys, if there's Vegas action on it, it's rigged and scripted. It's a numerical ritual week after week. But yeah, Mega 84 ritual here for the 84th tournament. 84 days after the state of Connecticut's birthday, the coach Hurley gets to 8-4 in the tournament. Again, they took down the Nets against Iona in their first game right before they scored the 84th point. They just, what is going on? Did they stop the clock and then brought it back up? What are they doing? 59-76. Now, I can tell you about those numbers. I'm not exactly sure where they fit in right now. I got to think more about it. It is the 76th NBA season this year, and it's also the 77th pro basketball season, but the 76th NBA season. But yeah, 59 and 76, those are numbers that are all over Black history. If you guys are new here, in Gematria, it's based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. The words slave, Negro, blues, Rasta, they all equal 59 forwards, 76 in reverse. 1984 was the first year a black coach ever won the college basketball championship. That was also a surprise to me. I thought they'd have at least one black coach in the Final Four in light of that history as well. But, things like Barack Obama equals 76. Always doing rituals with those numbers, 59 and 76 in black history. In the Bible, the 44th book of the Bible is Acts. Acts 7:6 is about 500 years of slavery. In the Bible, Ephesians 6:5-9 are the most infamous verses in the Bible about slavery, about being a good slave and obeying your masters. But again, we know modern day NBA, college basketball, a sport definitely dominated by black athletes. But yeah, again, the primary things, 31 in Houston. We call Houston the 31 city. Remember when Takeoff died? Remember when Takeoff died, what they said? UConn with the W. Hurley, 8-4 in the tournament. But remember when Takeoff died in Houston? The day before his Rocket album hit its anniversary. He was with his 31-year-old uncle, Quavo. And then they arrested the shooter 31 days later. UConn with the 31st win. That's why I told you guys. I said, seemed like it was UConn. I said the only other team that could possibly win it once it was narrowed down to the Final Four. I said the only other team that could do it's Miami because they were the only other team that could get the 31st win. But like I said, it's probably going to be UConn. That's why they took down the Nets right before the 84th points in the first game. And for anyone who could go back and go watch that UConn Iona game. Fast forward to the end. It's right near the end of the game. They stop the game while it's on 83 points. Take down the Nets, just like how you cut down the Nets when you win the championship. Then they put it up. Then they shoot a free throw. Boom, 84th points. Here we are. A couple weeks later. Championship by the numbers. Rigged and scripted. So. Oh, yeah, one other thing I need to say. Hakeem Tabit, his birthday is February 16th. I keep calling him Hakeem. Hasheem Tabit, the UConn player, the big man. Played in Houston. Went to high school in Houston. Hasheem Tabit, his birthday is February 17th. That means today is 46 days after his birthday. His birthday is the 47th day of the year. Today's the 93rd day of the year. The reason it matters that it's 46 days after his birthday, Houston, Texas equals 46. Connecticut equals 46. March Madness equals 46. Of course, Catholic also equals 46. Like there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. And don't forget the first March Madness was won by the Catholic school, Villanova, over the Jesuit school, Georgetown. That was in 85. The word basketball is 85. You might notice throughout this tournament, the Geico commercial has been saying that they've been in business for 85 years. I've never seen Geico put up the year count before this year, but again, 85, year of the first official March Madness. And for the record, the first March Madness goes back to 1939. It was won by the Oregon Webfoots. They were called the Webfoots back then, not the Oregon Ducks. Webfoots equals 39. The Oregon Webfoots won it in 39. This year, UConn This year, UConn, all the seeds add up to 39. Again, doing it at NRG Stadium, where construction began on March 9th, 39, and the letters NRG add up to 39. So, for the record, San Diego State, all the seeds they beat add up to 41, and notice they got their last win on 4-1 on April Fool's Day. All their seeds 41 on 4-1, just like the two NBA games that day. And one of the NBA games that day was Kawhi Leonard's team, wasn't it? Clippers on 41 wins. LA 41, RIP to Kobe Bryant, dead at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Then the Lakers won the championship exactly 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday on Father-Daughter Day after the death of Kobe and Gianna. By the way, you guys, all the people in LA, I'll be down in LA real soon. We were just out in Seattle this weekend. We're going to do the same thing in LA, but it'll be a lot bigger because it's a bigger city. We'll be down there as soon as the playoffs get underway to talk about Kobe's death and try and wake some people up. You know, so if you guys are in the LA area, plan on that. I haven't set the date yet. I'm waiting until they put out the playoff schedule, but I'm going to look, see if they got some Laker Clipper home games lined up back to back. See if we can get out there for a stretch of days. Wake up a lot of people talking about Kobe and what really happened. You know, at least as much as we know. Somebody's always in the comments, you don't know that he died. I'm not saying I know that he died, but we understand the ritual. We understand why Kobe Bryant, whose name equals 41, died on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass, and then the Lakers won the championship 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday. And don't forget, LeBron passed Kobe in points scored in Kobe's hometown, Philly, the day before Kobe died. Dropped Kobe to 4th on the list, and of course, 4 is the number associated with death. You guys don't know about that, look it up. It's from Mandarin, Chinese, and Japanese. They pronounce the number 4 the same as death. Manly P. Hall, where I learned about this whole letters numbers thing, he has a book on numbers and their meaning. His whole section on 4 is how it's the number of death. So anyway, we closed out the tournament strong. You know, thought it was going to be this exact matchup because of 2011, the only time UConn and San Diego State played. Again, the year to beat was in Houston. The year UConn won it, all made too much sense. And understand it's part of the joke having those 4 astronauts there that are going to blast off in the 11th month. The lead astronaut, his name is Reed Wiseman, born on 11/11. And again, don't forget Apollo 11. That was the moon mission, put the man on the moon by the numbers. And the same year, Michael Jackson, the moonwalker, turned 11 years old. If you guys didn't know that, the moon landing was 40 days before MJ's birthday, and in Gematria, moonwalk equals 40. How about that? They say they took the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry flag to the moon. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 325. Moon landing 325 days after MJ's birthday. And don't forget, last year, they planned the first moon mission launch in forever on Michael Jackson's birthday. Part of me hopes MJ is still out there living. It's sad how they made the world a bunch of MJ haters. People still listen to MJ's music, though. Yeah, Houston does also equal 112. With the alphabetic order, Houston's 112 like Harden. We use numerology, Houston's 31. It's just like how Takeoff died on November 1st. The next day, November 2nd, 112, was the anniversary of his Rockets album. Dies the day before it. Interesting observation, Matthew. But yeah, I mean, this was one of the easier championships to call in recent years for college basketball. And yeah, again, Houston in 31. You guys don't forget it. Happens all the time in that city. Rig Sports, Rig News. I can't remember if it was Saturday's game or Sunday's game. One of the pitchers in the Astros game going against the Astros just picked up his 31st career loss. That number happens so much in Houston, it's ridiculous. That's why we've been calling it the 31 city forever. So UConn with the 31st win, getting it done in Houston. And here, one more time for the people who got here late. Here's all the talking points for trying to wake your friends and family up about how rigged this stuff is. 84th tournament. Connecticut's state's birthday, January 9th. Today's 84 days later. The Coach Hurley gets to 8-4. And again, go back and watch the Iona game. They stopped the game. They stopped the game when UConn was on 83 points. They took down the net. There was nothing wrong with the net. They took it down, and then they put up a new net, and then UConn scored the 84th points of the game on a free throw. And I was like, okay. Well, they tell us right now UConn won the championship? And they were. That's exactly what they were doing. Okay, so that's the 84 piece. Other piece, Hakeem to beat. They've been showing you the Coke commercial all tournament. To beat, number 34 at UConn. Championship on the third day of the fourth month. All the seeds UConn beat to get to the championship add up to 34. Then with San Diego State, it's plus 5 more for 39. This stadium where they won it, NRG, those letters add up to 39. N's the 14th letter, R's the 18th, G's the 7th. Construction began on 3-9. Big numbers in this stadium. Remember that when the football season comes around. You'll see how that number plays in this stadium a lot. Been talking about that for a long, long time. Also, 46. Again, it's 46 days after Thabit's birthday. Connecticut 46, Houston, Texas 46, March Madness 46. 46 days after Thabit's birthday. He's age 36, like how they had 36 points at halftime. And again, in 2011, he played for the Houston Rockets. Connecticut won the championship, and it was the year that they had their only game against the San Diego State Aztecs. For the record, today can be written 4/3 or 3/4. Huskies equals 43. Aztecs equals 34. Both teams' nicknames fit with the date. And, yeah, the other point that needs to be made about the to beat 34 thing is, again, Coke. It was in the Coke ad. Coke equals 34. They went through Miami to get here. Miami's the cocaine city. How big of a joke it can be, you know. Back when the first men's tournament was going on back in 1939, when the Webfoots won it, they were still using things like cocaine as traditional medicine. Don't forget Big Pharma, big corporations, the advertisers, you know, the things that really run this nation. That's why they're the same ones giving you the script. They got to make sure you're watching these scripted games and seeing all their ads so you go out and buy their products. The stuff they should be teaching you in the college classroom. Why are they even getting all the students in the college classroom anyway, huh? The average American that goes to college, about 10% of them use their degree. The rest of them get way in debt and end up working jobs like servers at, Red Robin. A ton of student debt. Again, you guys, these universities are corrupt. The whole system's corrupt. The whole game's rigged. Learn the knowledge, start taking advantage of it like we do. And again, shout out to Big Al, who won a nice big $4,000 payday. I always like it when Big Al wins big. Big-time supporter, veteran of the community. And again, for all you guys who just slept on the advice, as I said it over and over and over from the first round on about UConn and the net ritual, I don't know why you did that. I don't know why you did that. Corny. Somebody needs to talk to these fans right here. By the way, number 2, man, no team should win a championship when your point guard's that bad. That guy's not a good point guard. It looked like he was trying to throw the game at the end. It's like, how many times are you going to let your pocket get picked, man? On that fast break where they could have put the game away, he throws a turnover. So it's like, come on, man. This guy is throwing the game. Would have been a 30-point game if it wasn't for number 2. Yeah, UConn, truly, the name. It's like, it is a con. Yeah, I guess it is fair to make the point about the other infamous university in Connecticut. Of course, Yale's in Connecticut, the Ivy League school. It's in New Haven, which was established in the year 1684. 1684, emphasis on 84. And New Haven, Connecticut has that Gematria 84. Big special number. Words like Jesuit, Masonry, United States of America, they all equal 84. Infamous book, 1984, Fabian Society. Remember, George Orwell wrote it. Fabian Society established in 1884. Of course the players are in on it. I mean, how could you not think the players are in it? Did you watch any of the games? Every year it's obvious the players are in on it. God, did you see how the Kansas State game ended? The savvy little point guard takes the ball up the court slowly with only 6 seconds, doesn't even try to look for a shot, and then throws the ball to a man who's deep and double teamed to end the game. Did you watch the end of the Kansas game? They didn't even put up a shot. Kansas didn't even shoot the ball at the end of the game. He slammed the ball into the court like he scored a touchdown. You don't think the players are in on it? If you don't think the players are in on it, you either know nothing about these games or I don't know. I think that's the only way you can not know that the players are in on it. You don't know how to play the games yourself. You never played it. You're not an athlete. You're just a spectator. That's the only way you can not know the players are in on it. And I'm not saying every guy in the court's in on it, but the key players on the team are definitely in on it. The ones that are destined for the next level, they're in on it. It's like the auditioning for the next level of the rigged NBA, where things happen like LeBron winning on real King James's birthday. Remember how he came back from down 1-3, first ever team to do it, 33rd team to be in the situation, Cleveland, the 33 city. And don't forget that year he played the Warriors again, Steph Curry and LeBron born in the same hospital. But that same year, the Warriors came back from down 1-3 against the Thunder. And then Durant signed up with the Warriors in the offseason on the 4th of July. Nation's birthday, joining the Golden State. Kayla catches it. So, yeah, another racial tribute in yesterday's game. Go figure, man. Just always doing the same thing. Yeah, and then the favorite. Here's the commercial right here, you guys. Let's close out. Let's zoom in on this commercial. You guys ready for the Hakeem to beat commercial? Hold on. Let's close out with the Hakeem to beat right here. There it is. To beat 34 with the Coke. All right, you guys. We'll leave it right there. Congrats to the winners. Shout out to Big Al. They told it all in the Iona game. Till next time.